One of many major decisions looming for Ohio voters here on the November ballot. Issue 1, part of what's driving record early voting, and will likely do the same on Election Day.
Yeah, but from the ads to the rallies to the yard signs, what does Issue 1 really say and do? WLWT News 5 Stephen Albritton breaks it all down to get the facts.
Issue 1, its mere mention brings emotion on both sides of this proposed constitutional amendment. If passed, it would protect the right to reproductive decisions into the state's constitution. The ballot language is complex, and you can find it in full on our website. Now here's what the political ads say. First up, an ad against Issue 1 featuring Ohio's governor, paid for by Protect Women Ohio.
Issue 1 would allow an abortion at any time during a pregnancy, and it would deny parents the right to be involved when their daughter is making the most important decision of her life.
I sat down with Dr. Ann Weitzel, an assistant political science professor at Miami University, to get the facts.
There's kind of an allusion to parental consent laws not being allowed under this. That is unlikely to be a problem. Michigan passed a similar amendment to this, and they have not had this problem.
This ad gets a mostly false rating. On the other side, an ad urging a yes vote paid for by Ohioans United for Reproductive Rights.
The laws that have been enacted here in Ohio have been extreme, far more extreme than what I'm comfortable with. It makes me angry that they don't have exceptions for things like rape or for the health of the mother. This is insane.
It's definitely presenting this alternative that if we don't vote yes on Issue 1, then there will be the most draconian laws in Ohio, which again I think kind of distorts the current situation and is capitalizing on the fact that people probably not following the ins and outs of what's happening with the heartbeat law.
This ad gets a mostly true rating because Ohio's heartbeat law went into effect soon after the overturning of Roe v. Wade, but was put on hold by a Hamilton County judge. A yes vote on Issue 1 would likely make the heartbeat bill unconstitutional and put the very conservative Ohio State Legislature back to square one on any abortion bills. Next up, another Vote No ad paid for by Right to Life of Greater Cincinnati.
Late-term abortion is real, and so is the pain. Issue 1 allows it right up to birth. Abortions that are too late, too painful, and too extreme for Ohio. Will you stand for victims?
The bill, or the amendment rather, actually says that the state can still regulate abortion past viability. And I think what they're getting at here is that there's a clause that there are exceptions for the health of a mother, and so that opens up the opportunity for potentially abortions later in the third trimester, but those are also very rare.
Looking at the ratings, this one goes down as mostly false. Finally, one more ad in favor of Issue 1, paid for by Ohioans United for Reproductive Rights.
But the government here in Ohio took that decision away from us.
We had to leave the state in order to get the care that I needed. Because the law in Ohio is broken, voting yes on Issue 1 is the only way to fix this.
And so I think this is a really compelling ad because it presents a really difficult situation. And if you have never been in that situation, it's hard for you to say what you would do. And it's probably difficult for you to say what the state's role should be in that situation. And so I think, in terms of what this would do, would the amendment protect these situations? Yes.
This last one, a mostly true rating. But with arguably one of the most consequential votes in the state's history and the country watching what will happen in Ohio, policymaking in the gray area makes this far from a black and white decision. Now, Governor Mike DeWine did recently come out and slightly change his pro-life stance, saying a new law adding exceptions for rape or incest would align with the vast majority of Ohioans on abortion, according to him. But anything like that would need to be passed by the Republican-controlled Ohio legislature. But first things first, what Ohio decides come November 7th. Stephen Albritton, WLWT News 5.